So this is a good example of what's too hot. And this ran up this red oak. You know, I cooked the side of that. That's been about a year that burn scar's been there. You can see on this oak tree, bark's already starting to peel in, but this has only been a year since this wildfire came through here, or my man-made wildfire. This will get a fungus on it, and most likely, and within another 4 years or so, fungus will start setting in on this tree, and we'll see a decline of some of these oak trees in here that just got too hot. All right, so this area right here, fire got out on me, and it was a day where the relative humidity was down in the high 20s. It was too warm, too much wind. Jumped and ran up and got about an acre of this area, but I want to talk about these farkleberries here. It's a pretty big farkleberry. There is some life in the top. It's got some flowers going up in the very top, but a lot of these branches completely dead in here. Now, it did burn far too hot. You can see these farkleberries are dead, but they have regenerated new growth rapidly down at the base. So they're going to put on new growth, but hot fire will definitely kill these farkleberries, or at least the big part. And you know, it'll be years and years before these big farkleberries like this put on the girth that they have right now. But maybe this main leader on here will continue to survive and make it, but a lot of the smaller branches are completely and totally dead already. So yeah, don't cook your farkleberry too hot. I'll go over here and show you some that I'm prepping to burn. All right, here's an example of where I've cleaned out underneath a bunch of these big farkleberries here, so that when we do burn, I don't have the same results we had on the other side. I've got a whole good stand of farkleberries in this little area. Not just farkleberry, but there's a lot of dogwoods. You can see a real pretty dogwood in here. These dogwoods are super shallow rooted, so a hot fire will knock these dogwoods back. The smaller ones are a little more susceptible. A lot of it depends on how hot the fire is and what time of year you burn. But I love my dogwoods, and you can see I've cleaned out under this whole stand of these farkleberries, so that fire can run around the outside of these farkleberries. And we've cleaned out around pretty much all of our trees in here to get ready to burn this next dormant season. Big dogwood trees in here. So you can see how we've cleaned out around all of this. So it's mainly so that when we come back in here this fall, I don't have as much work to do. It also makes things a lot easier for us to come in and hack and squirt a bunch of these trees out of here that need to go. And by cleaning around all of the trees, the ones that are going to die due to hack and squirt, I don't have to worry about those dead snags. You know, if I took this hickory right here, I don't have to worry about fire running up these dead snags. So I went ahead and cleaned this whole stand around every tree. Hack and squirt is next. So we've got rows and rows of all this slash. We pulled it back away from the base of all our big trees, and the way the stuff lines out on the hill, a lot of it's not going to burn this year. The bigger stuff might smolder a little bit, but the little branches in there will burn up. The bigger stuff will just lay there. The deer love to bed down around on these hills with all this slash around them. It makes them feel like they have some cover, and it holds erosion, but I'm still not sure it was worth all the work. It's a lot of labor cutting all this slash down to the ground. So here's a good example. This is a giant oak tree that's here. You can see the size of it. Now underneath this big oak tree, I believe that one's a red oak, but I've got this small chestnut oak here. I got another small chestnut oak right here. I've got a pretty decent little sized dogwood here. And I've got another little white oak. Yeah, I think it's a little white oak right here. So if you look up at these canopies, that white oak right there has absolutely nowhere to go. It's going to need to be hack and squirted. This dogwood that's right here, I'm going to let that guy go. It's a pretty little dogwood, and it'll grow just fine under this canopy, especially after I get this maple tree here out. So that maple, it's taken up a lot of the canopy, so we're going to hack and squirt that guy out. And then this little chestnut oak that's right up next to this big oak tree. That little chestnut oak needs to go so that big oak can flourish. I'll leave these little dogwood trees that are here in place, but a lot of the smaller stuff that's got no canopy to get to will just be hack and squirted. And now I've cleaned out around the base of all of them, so I'm not worried about them flaring up once I kill them and burn this. And then on these big giant oak trees, I really cleaned the duff out around the edges. I'll have to come back and do it again, but give you an idea what the plan is. All right, this tree right here, it's probably 100-year-old plus chestnut oak. It is a monster of a tree. Now, these pretty little dogwoods that are all underneath it, they're not hurting anything. I'm going to leave them because I like them. You know, they're good pollinators. They're pretty. But look, that little hickory tree right here. It has absolutely nowhere to go. It is stuck directly underneath the canopy of that chestnut oak, as is this little chestnut oak next to that. So I'll be going around these big chestnut oaks and white oaks and red oaks and opening up all the hickories, oaks, sweet gums, poplars, anything that's going to die anyway, because it's restricting the growth of these big giant oak trees that we want to save. And then we'll clean out real good, just like we did underneath that one, and let fire get through here this next winter.